Good morning. This is Miss Chrissy from the Newton Falls Public Library, and I'm coming to you this morning from my garden. This will be, I think, the fourth in a series of garden videos that we've done. We do have some seedlings now. They're about that big, but they're not ready to come outside yet. We still may get some cold air coming in to Northeast Ohio, and so they're not ready to be outside. However, on a beautiful day like this, I am ready to be outside. So I've spent the last couple of days cleaning out my gardens and getting them ready, and I found some cool things that I wanted to share with you. One of the things we generally do in our program is talk about things that are good for your garden and things that are bad for your garden, particularly animals. So I'm going to share some pictures with you that I have and that a friend of mine has taken, a few videos I found, and we're going to talk about each animal and whether or not it is helpful to you in the garden or not so helpful. First, I want to show you what I found yesterday. So here's an earthworm, a wireworm, a grub and a June bug, and a roly-poly. Of these critters, the earthworm and the roly-poly are good for your garden. They eat things like dead leaves and decaying plants, and they create compost, which is like vitamins for your garden. The other three things are far more likely to eat the roots of your plants or the leaves. These three creatures are all good for my garden. A praying mantis, a wolf spider, and an orb weaver spider. They may look scary, but if you leave them alone, they will do their job, which is to eliminate insects from your garden. Insects that might eat our roots and our leaves. Now here's some prettier pictures. These birds include a barn swallow, a bluebird. While these birds can sometimes eat fruit in your garden, they're far more likely to eat bugs like grasshoppers and beetles that are harmful. So we want them around. These birds, a blackbird, a goldfinch, and a waxwing, are actually more likely to be pests in your garden. They'll eat the produce as it's becoming ripe. Now here's some really cool pictures. This is a Cooper's hawk, a barred owl, and a screech owl. These fascinating birds are great to have around your garden because they'll eat small pests like voles and mice and even rabbits sometimes that might be snacking on your garden. Most mammals, from deer down to mice, will likely eat your garden, but a few, like possums and fox, will actually keep pests down for you. Last of all are these smaller critters I found. These always make me jump when I see them in my garden, but I really like having them around. A toad, a frog, and a salamander. All three amphibians, along with some reptiles like garter snakes, are wonderful for your garden because they eat bugs and grubs and other little critters that might harm your plants. When we say something is good for our garden or bad for our garden, that applies just to our produce and our goals. In the environment at large, everything has a purpose and everything has a reason for existing. Now you'll notice that most of the time, whether or not an animal is good for your garden or bad for your garden has to do with what they eat. So most of the things that eat pests are good for your garden, and most things that actually eat your garden, the seeds and the plants and the roots, those are bad for your garden. So that's pretty much the basics. But it's always good to remember the basic rules. Whether or not something is good or bad for your garden, you still don't want to touch it. Everything we talked about in this video is considered a wild animal. Whether it's adorable or ugly, whether it's scary or not scary, never ever touch anything that is not a pet, okay? So we want to leave all those things alone, even the cute and adorable ones. We leave them alone and let them do their thing. Remember to check out the description of this video for links to other books and online sources that can help you with your garden.